Any very quick response to that, and then Mr. Inglis.
Yes, might I respond
Please,
to that?
very quickly.
Dr. Michael's analysis is wrong. I'm sorry, it's just completely incorrect. What he's attempted to do here is explain the observed temperature change over the last 60 years, from 1950 through to 2010. And he said that the estimated total change in temperature is 0.7 degrees. Now, he's identified four things: economic activity, black carbon, errors in the sea surface temperature data, and stratospheric water vapor, and said, I think all of those things have had a warming influence, so I'm going to subtract them from this 0.7 degrees, and I'm left with 0.3. 0.3 is less than half of 0.7, therefore the IPCC is wrong. And the conclusion that more than half of the observed warming over the 20th century was due to, very likely due to increases in greenhouse gases, is one of the central conclusions of the IPCC. So if Dr. Michaels is right, that central conclusion is wrong. What Dr. Michaels did not mention, either here or in his written testimony, is the cooling effect of sulfate aerosols, which has already been discussed at this hearing. If you indulge me for a moment, I'm just going to bring up one slide here. Now, our best estimate of that cooling is, sorry, this is a slide from a paper published in 2006 by Peter Stott at the Hadley Center. And what you see in the bottom are three different climate models, and it's the estimate of their sulfate cooling caused by the scattering effects of sulfate aerosols over the 20th century. It's negative. Now, if you assume conservatively that that cooling effect over 1950 to 2010, the period Dr. Michaels looked at, was, say, minus 0.4 degrees Celsius over that 60-year period, and you assume that Dr. Michaels was completely correct in the estimating the magnitude of the four factors that he removed from the observations, you'd be adding minus 0.4 and plus 0.4. You'd get to 0. So you still need to explain 0.7. You need to get to the observed total temperature change over this 60-year period. What could that be? Could it be the sun? No way. It couldn't be the sun. If solar effects were that large on the 60-year time scale, we'd see a huge 11-year cycle in the temperature data. We don't. Could it be volcanoes? No, it couldn't be volcanoes. Could it be some mode of natural variability, some internal oscillation of the climate system that could generate that 0.7 degree temperature increase? Not plausible. The most plausible explanation is an increase in atmospheric CO2. We know CO2 has changed. Again, that's not some assertion, that's not supposition. We know that.